So the green-eyed man is exploded into... Okay, he just turns back into human form, but he's slightly winded for being drilled through with the power cosmic. You know, for your punching me, I think I do understand your feelings. I know, right? Let's do my buddy handshake thing. I'm a little out of it on account of you drilling through my torso, but what the hell, sure. And so, with not a boring douchebag to ruin the moment, they successfully accomplish the buddy handshake. And then Fjörsengard lets the green-eyed man just wander off to finish dying somewhere. He's an older man, you know, it takes him a while to die. Before letting him wander off, should we have at least grabbed this monster switch, or... I'm doing it again, aren't I? Damn it me, excitable! What I really meant to say was, yay, everything's great, let's eat ice cream and start another band. The dying green-eyed man wanders to a playground, cause they have those by high schools, and ponders on the wife-beater kid at the start of last episode. You know, I think that wife-beater just might have been why I didn't get laid in the summer of '69. Still... I rocked it. And with those parting words, the green-eyed man finally dies. After we see the passing of several seasons. Meanwhile, much earlier, we see Fjörsengard and pals attending school. By which I mean talking outside of class. Man, it sucked how boring douchebag died. What do you mean? Well, it's just that old moonchild thing, it was really lame. And I never had the chance to punch him so he could understand my feelings on that subject. I believe it's not too late to sweep my origin under the rug. Yes, indeed, that was the sound of a boring douchebag come back to life. He explains that he assumes that the green-eyed man used the Trappy the Trap Skirt switch to heal the Tooth switch, which was also him, sort of. Even though the series never showed the green-eyed man use switches other than his own. And that besides, he didn't seem that remorseful during his several-year death period. I believe I've been resurrected as a human this time, so movie screenwriters won't have to worry about it. Man, this just turned into the lamest ending ever. Buddy handshake to the epilogue credits. Buddy handshake to the epilogue credits. Buddy handshake to the epilogue. No one gave you permission to speak. And so it ends with a buddy handshake to epilogue credits. During which we find out how things turned out for everyone that showed up in the last few episodes. Donna Troy returns to Atlantis in search of his missing funky battle theme. His series of wacky adventures get pitched as a spin-off show, but it's deemed too incredibly amazing for broadcast. Lucy's career takes off as a therapist slash the rapist slash cult leader. Also because it's less dumb, I'll say she's the one who used her satanic powers to bring back boring douchebag. Doubtless to satisfy your curiosity as to what a moon zombie would look like. Being a moon zombie, boring douchebag soon loses what faculties he has left and spends the rest of his days chewing his way to the Earth's brain. Failing his quest to become a rock god and his sub-quest to start a successful podcast, J.K. Rowling falls back on his career as famous author. On a whim, he makes a children's book with nothing but half-assed doodles of his wang. It outsells the Bible. Queen Bitch continues to rock bippity-boppity hats. I could do better, but she makes it work. Captain S's career would take a nosedive after his cameo in the pilot of Donna Troy, The Legendary Journeys, but he will bounce back in its porno spoof Fish Dicks. Rainbow Joe continues to be the sad prosecuting attorney from the first case of every Phoenix Wright game. Florence Olivier and Howdy Extra 2 become unhinged from time. They're given a series of missions to save the multiverse and even manage to finish one before being replaced by gender-swapped versions of Spider-Man and the Wolverine. Still under the influence of the voices in her head, Excitable Girl builds a giant slingshot to shoot herself into space. It works perfectly. And last but not least, what of the show's hero? Well, Hot Dog Robot would go on to marry Leggy Teacher from the Secretariat arc. Together they'd run a drugstore and have 9 beautiful children. And that was the series. So what did we learn? Well, it takes all sorts to run a geocosmos. Some nice, some nasty, some clever, some... I already did that bit, didn't I? Well, then I think we've learned I've been going through the motions for about a year to get to that fish sticks joke. It was worth it. But really, it's been swell to do this show about a show in which I reiterate the show to avoid the pathetic feeling of posting about it in a fan translation forum. So I'd like to thank all the people who have offered me supportive comments for the year I've been doing this. By which I mean one person who wrote Lol Queen Bitch. Now I may not know your name, nor wish to remember it, but surely it was you who kept me strong. So what's next for JTAKRAOSPE? Kamen Rider Wizard? Seems likely. There's a few other things I want to get done. We'll see what happens first. Not to mention Rider X Sentai and the Force movie, which will be painful. But they got Force, so might as well make the collection complete. Now, speaking of, guess I'd better wrap it up. JTAKRAOSPE Series 1, Kamen Rider Force. Your audience and the power cosmic be mine? I space everything! Okay, I'm good. Next time, it's a wizard blizzard. Or a wizard lizard in the hizzard. I am already out. Until then, good night, and go Space Knights, go Space Knights, go! Go Space Knights, go Space Knights, go! Go Space Knights, go Space Knights, go! Rah!